folks, now we're gonna have a look at how to play position. Doesn't matter if you play 8 ball, 9 ball, 10 ball or straight pool, you always have to be able to play good position for the next shot. And here's the theory for your future position play. You don't have to play all robotic, you've got to develop a certain feel for the path of the cue ball. But nevertheless, it will be very helpful for you to have the magic 60 rule. So I'm going to explain it to you right now. So this is how this magic 60 rule works. Take the number 60 and subtract the angle the balls are laying in. So in this case 15. And the result is 16 minus 15 is 45, will be the angle in which the cue ball will be traveling. On a center ball shot or a follow ball shot, it will be in this direction. On a jaw shot, the cue ball will rebound just on the opposite side. So 45-degree angle is just a parallel line to this diagonal line from the side pocket to the corner pocket. So it's just over here. So when I use a medium speed on this 15-degree cut shot, the cue ball should be rolling right in the direction of the 10 ball. So it may differ like one ball to the right or to the left, so because maybe the angle is not perfect, maybe I'm using not the perfect speed, maybe I'm not making this object ball perfectly in the heart and the center of the pocket. So just let's take 2 balls here. And that's about the range, 2-3 balls, how exactly you can play with this method. And then you need to develop a certain feel for playing perfect position. So here actually I align always with the next category. So 1 to 15 degrees is category 1A, but I align with the 1B because 15 degrees is just the borderline. So actually using a 1A will probably result in a path more towards the 10 and 1B more towards the 8. So let's have a look at both here. A 1A makes contact with the 10. And using a 1B alignment will probably result more in a cue ball path in direction of the 8 ball. So 1B alignment now. So you saw it was more towards the left. Now this knowledge comes in handy when we want to play position. Let's take the example of a 9 ball game here, and the 9 ball is laying here. So if you've got a 15-degree angle here, just subtract 15 from 16, the cue ball will roll into this direction. You don't need to apply any side spin using a follow shot then. And you will get perfect position on this 9 ball. Now let's have an example of a draw shot. We saw the cue ball will travel in a 45-degree angle on this 15-degree cut shot. So on a diagonal of this line from the side pocket to the corner pocket. So right over here. So on a draw shot it will be just the opposite. So 45 degrees is the same as the distance of 4 diamonds. So I can just count diamonds, 1, 2, 3, 4. Mirror it over here. So the cue ball should travel right into this direction. But now, when I want the cue ball to travel this whole distance, which is about the distance of 5 diamonds, I need a firmer stroke or shot speed than before. So the cue ball will probably rebound at a stiffer angle, somewhere here when I want the cue ball to travel the whole way. But if I only want the cue ball to travel just like the same distance before, like before on the follow shot, it will pretty much go right here in this direction of these two balls. Let's have a look here. So you see that's pretty clear. So when I use the same shot and I want the cue ball to travel the whole distance right over here, the rebound angle will be a little bit stiffer. So for a firm speed, it's just about 1 diamond less. So instead of going over here, it will go over here somewhere. .15 degrees, a little bit more to the right. And you see the cue ball will travel perfectly in this direction. You just have to know a firmer speed will cause a stiffer rebound angle on a follow shot and on a draw shot. So the next example would be a 30-degree cut shot. So a 30-degree cut shot angle, you know this from our basic exercise, is right here. So I position the cue ball somewhere here on this line. So the magic 60 rule says 60 minus 30 is 30. So the rebound angle of the cue ball after having touched the rail should be a degree of 30 degrees, an angle of 30 degrees. So the cue ball will make contact at the rail somewhere here. And we know that an angle of 30 degrees is the distance of 2.25 diamonds. So we count the diamonds after having mirrored this ball and said, so this is about 1/4 of a diamond, 1 1/4, 2 1/4. So actually the cue ball should travel right in this direction of the corner pocket when we use medium speed and set a ball with follow action or follow shot. Right, so let's align with 2A. Accelerate nicely, and we see the cue ball will travel perfectly in this direction. Again, when we take a firmer speed, the rebound angle will be a little bit stiffer, and the same is true for a draw shot. So let's continue here with the draw shot. And let's have the same angle, so about 30 degrees, which is pretty much here. So now the cue ball will travel 2.2 diamonds in this direction, towards the side pocket. So I mirror the ghost ball over here, so it's about the width of 1.5 balls above the diamond. So let's count the full diamonds as 1, 2, 2.2. Two diamonds is just over here, just like 1.5 diamonds above the center pocket. So somewhere here, pretty much there, close to stretch. Let's have a look now. Now when we play with the jaw shot, we need a firmer stroke. So probably the cue ball will have a tendency to get a little bit short. Or I go a little bit closer here to the object ball, and then the cue ball will take perfectly this path. You see that? It's pretty accurate. Now let's have a look at a 45-degree angle. Let's position the object ball again in the same position, and let's create a 45-degree angle. So 45 degrees is the distance of 4 diamonds. So I mirror the object ball over here, start counting 1, 2, 3, 4. And when the cue ball is on the line between the virtual ghost ball and this 9 ball, it will perfectly be 45 degrees. Now on a follow shot or center ball hit, the cue ball will rebound to the 15-degree angle, because 60 minus 45 is 15. And 15 is equal to 1.1 diamonds. So again, the cue ball will make contact at the rail, somewhere here where the ghost ball is, and then we count 1.1 diamonds. So 1 diamond would be here, 1.1 pretty much there. So for a nice follow shot or a center ball hit at medium speed, the cue ball will roll pretty much perfectly into these 2 balls. So I align again with 2A. And you see the cue ball takes perfectly this path. Now the same is true for a draw shot. Again, about the width of a finger away. The cue ball will now rebound in an angle of 15 degrees in this direction. So again, the ghost ball is about here. This is where the cue ball will make contact with the rail and just start counting. Here is the mirror ball. 1 more diamond is just over here. And 1.1 just a little bit over to the right. So when I've got a 45-degree angle, like here now, the cue ball should go perfectly in this direction of the 5 ball. So should be somewhere here. Same alignment with the 2A. One more time. So it should be pretty perfect now. Again, it was a little bit thick, but still, you got the idea that it's pretty accurate. Now, on a 60-degree angle, the magic 60 rule has a little exception. So, on a 60-degree cut shot, the cue ball will still travel the distance of about half a diamond. Half a diamond in this direction on a follow shot and half a diamond in this direction on a draw shot. So let's have a look at here. Again, the 8 ball is here. 60 degrees is right on a line to this facing of the side pocket. I mirror the ghost ball. The ghost ball is just here. So on a follow shot, half a diamond is just 1 ball less than here in between those 2 diamonds. And you will see that the cue ball will travel perfectly in this direction with medium speed. So I align with a 2B. Now for a draw shot on a 60-degree cut angle, the cue ball will travel half a diamond in this direction. So I mirror the ghost ball, which is about here. So half a diamond would be half a diamond. It's about here. So the cue ball should make contact with one of these two balls on the draw shot with a 60-degree angle. So I line it to 2A. So in 2A it will probably make a path more in this direction with a 3A more in this direction. So here with 2A first and a nice draw shot, medium speed. So you saw the cue ball taking the perfect path. Now I want to show you the effects of side spin. But before we shoot balls into the pocket, I want to show you this here at the table, only using the cue ball. So half the tip of side spin is equal to the distance of one diamond. So from this diamond to this distance, we call this one diamond because the distance between two diamonds is only one diamond. So when I apply rather soft speed and half the tip of side spin as a follow shot, you will see that the cue ball will roll perfectly the width of one diamond. As long as I'm shooting slow, the same is true when I use the tip position here below the center. But already there's a tendency for the cue ball to go longer. So here it was about 2 widths of a ball. And this tendency even gets bigger the firmer we shoot. So for example here, a medium speed at center ball, half the tip, is already half a diamond longer. See that? Medium tip, speed, half the tip of side spin on a follow shot, half a diamond longer. Medium speed on a draw shot, half the tip of side spin, even a little bit more than half a diamond longer. So the deeper we make contact with the cue ball, the bigger is the effect. The firmer we shoot, the bigger is the effect. So we need to know that to account for certain situations when we use different speeds. Now let's have a look at a 15-degree cut shot now when we apply side spin. Let's take the same positions than we did before, so it's easy for you to train that. So on a 15-degree cut shot, somewhere like here, the cue ball will deflect towards the rail up to here, and from here in a 45-degree angle when we use a draw shot. So when I mirror the ghost ball, it's here, and I count 1, 2, 3, 4 diamonds, and a little bit more here because of the cue ball making contact in front of the diamond. It's pretty much here. We already know that. So this is about 1.5 diamonds away from this pocket. So when I use a rather medium to firm speed and I use half a tip of outside spin with draw, the cue ball should take pretty much the way towards the corner pocket. Okay, let's have a look here, and don't take the cue ball too far away so that it don't get stunned into your draw shot. Step in and apply half a tip of side spin. And here the cue ball rolls perfectly into this indicated direction. But it depends how clear you make the object ball. So this one was a little bit thick, that's the reason why the cue ball went more into this direction than into this. I just want to give you an idea where the cue ball will be rolling at. So normally it would have been here and 1.5 times longer because of a rather firm speed withdrawal. So now let's have a look at the same shot here using inside spin. So normally the cue ball would take a path down here, but with inside spin it will be around 1 diamond for slow speed, shorter, on the width of half the table. So this is only a quarter of the table, so it will pretty much be here. Yeah. And for more speed it will even be a full diamond shorter, somewhere here I think. So somewhere in this area the cue ball will roll on this 15-degree cut shot angle when we use half a tip of the inside spin. And you saw that was absolutely perfectly in between those two balls. And this knowledge comes in pretty handy when we want to apply side spin for getting a good shape on the next ball. So let's have this here. Let's presume it's a 9-ball game, and the 9-ball is somewhere over here, and we have this angle. So we know this is about 15 degrees. So my cue ball would go from this way towards here, and then the English side spin will grab at the rail, and angle in, angle out is somewhere here, plus the side spin is about 1 to 1.5 diamonds shorter, we said, on medium speed. So it should be pretty much in between those two diamonds where the cue ball should roll to get perfect position for this 9-ball. And the cue ball will roll perfectly towards the indicated area. Now let's continue now on shots at 30-degree angles. So a 30-degree cut shot is somewhere here, pretty much here. And we know, without applying side spin, a follow shot will make the cue ball scratch pretty much here. A draw shot needs a mirrored ghost ball here, and then we count another 2.2 diamonds. So 1 diamond, 2 diamonds, 2.2 is pretty much here. So this is for a draw shot. Now let's presume we have to play position for this 9-ball here. It would be pretty nice to have the cue ball get over here and then rebounds towards the 9-ball. So somewhere in between these two balls would be pretty good, and therefore I need half a tip of side spin, because on medium to further speed the cue ball will not be rolling here plus 1 diamond but plus 1.5. And okay, let's have a look here and align with it 2A or with a 3A depending on the shaft you use. And the cue ball perfectly takes the desired path. So this won't happen within 2 minutes or 2 hours, depending on how good your level is already. But after a certain while you will be able to play very accurately position. Now, finally we will take a look at a 45-degree angle, so which is here. And the cue ball is sitting somewhere here. Again, we mirror the ghost ball and count 4 diamonds. 1, 2, 3, 4. Plus here a ball. So the cue ball should be sitting perfectly here on this axis. And a draw shot will make the cue ball touch the rail here. And then we count just 1 full diamond and perhaps a point more here. And so this is for a draw without applying side spin. And using a follow shot would make the cue ball go along 1 diamond, 1.1 diamonds into this direction towards the corner pocket. But we want to draw the cue ball now, and we want to play position for a 9 ball that is sitting here. Now, when we use half a tip of side spin, the cue ball will go longer, about 1.5 diamonds. So this here would be 1 diamond, this here would be 1.5. Okay? And we want to play position for this 9 ball, so we want the cue ball even to rebound from this rail towards this direction. So half a tip of side spin is pretty good, so the cue ball should make contact with the rail somewhere here and then rebound for contact, for good shape on the 9 ball. Okay. And you saw how nicely the cue ball took its path just right here in between those 2 balls. And now I have a really good, nice and easy 9 ball to win the game.